Hi, everyone. I'm Deepal Shah. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to have you here today because I have to tell you, I had a revelation. And this revelation was huge for me because one of the things that I had a revelation about was why I felt so helpless. And maybe this is something that you've been feeling lately too. So, first of all, before we continue, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and let's get started. Feeling helpless can destroy somebody. It can destroy this human body, this human mind. It can have a huge impact. Most of the time, I have realized that it has destroyed me in many different ways. It has destroyed my relationships. It has destroyed me personally in many ways because it takes me into a dark hole where I don't want to be. I've been there where I have been through panic attacks, been through depression, been through many things in my life, been stressed. But what happens is that feeling helpless really starts to impact one's ability to think clearly. Because when that energy comes in, it is so hard to gather your own energy and make proper decisions and say the right things. And so feeling helpless is not fun for anyone. I remember I would start blaming others and have this preconceived notion that things should happen my way. Otherwise, I felt helpless and very much out of control. And feeling that lack of control is what made me feel helpless. And gosh, the more I think about it, how many times have you tried to be in control of something and you just can't? We try to control our environment, we try to control our lives, we try to control our children or our spouses. We try to control every action within us and other people's actions. It's this control of outcomes that we thrive on each and every moment of our life. And when something feels out of control, that mind starts to chatter and you can't think straight. And your stress levels go up, the anxiety goes up, the worry goes up. But why do we do this? As humans, we want to control everything. We want control over all of the situations because it gives us power. It takes the fear out of the equation. And so today I want to offer you ways in which you can overcome feeling helplessness. My name is Deepal Shah, and I welcome you to Wellness with Deepal. I help people all around the world to become pain-free, find their purpose. And if you have not experienced my work, please check it out at ananda4life.com. I offer many avenues of healing. While you are there, be sure to grab my stress-free relief guide with 2 energy healing MP3s. You can experience my work firsthand for free. So let's dive in. I had a huge revelation the other night, and I want to share it with you. Because then I also want to offer you some wonderful ways in which you can stop feeling so helpless now. So I was cooking, and I love cooking in some sense, depending on what I'm making. I always go onto YouTube and just like everyone else, I try to find these amazing gluten-free, delicious recipes, which requires some work on my part. It takes time to find the right recipe and then, start the process, taking out all the ingredients, um, baking or cooking the actual meal. And so I decided I was going to make these amazing chocolate chip cookies, which are wonderful. By the way, it was the first time I tried this recipe, and they are amazing. And I had some zucchini that I was going to use later on, but it was going bad. So I wanted to make something, and my husband helped me making the zucchini bread that took a while. However, every time he helps, I get angry. And it's not that I get angry at him, I get angry at the process because I feel like I'm losing control of the process. The reason that I feel that is because he doesn't take control. It's like he becomes dependent on me to guide him, and it's okay. But I feel out of control. And I think a lot of women may feel out of control when their spouses have entered the kitchen or when anyone enters the kitchen. A chef always feels out of control. I have realized that. And so it's okay though. I was working with the energy and I love it when he helps. I want him to help. I want him to be there. I want to do things together. But I was feeling a little anxious when he was helping because he had a lot of questions. And it was the most simplest thing that I wanted him to do. I just asked him to squeeze the water out of the zucchini. And he was like, "Oh, I need a towel. There's no way to do this." And I was like, "Forget it. Let me just take it myself." And I just started squeezing it with my hands. And he's like, "Oh, it's that simple?" And I'm like, "Yeah, really simple." And he's like, "Well, I just wish that you had shown me how to do it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I should have." So that energy calmed down. But I realized that I started this domino effect of a bad attitude on my part. And it was like I tried to put myself back together, but I was having a little bit of a hard time. And we got through the entire recipe perfectly fine. It went in the oven, it was great. Then I figured I might as well finish cooking all the zucchinis because they were going bad, like I said. And so I wanted to make ratatouille for the girls, which another amazing recipe that I had found. This, of course, I did on my own while my husband sat there on his phone. And I was getting mad and more mad because he wasn't helping. So it was like this double edged sword. I don't feel in control, and now he's not helping. So as time was passing, not once did he ask, "Can I help you?" until it was all done. And I said, "No, I'm fine. I'm done. It's too late now. Thanks a lot." So he didn't think anything of it, but I think he could tell I was a little irritated. Then I got the ratatouille in the oven, and the second loaf of the zucchini bread was still cooking. By this point, I was exhausted. I had cooked three different things: chocolate chip cookies, zucchini bread, and ratatouille. All three amazing at the end, but I was exhausted. I washed the dishes after that, still no sign of him asking to help me. Later on, I realized it was my fault. I created my helplessness. I created my anger. I created all of these emotions within me. And here's where I went wrong. And maybe this will help you recognize where you may be going wrong as well. We are the creators of everything within us, especially our emotions. We create. We expect things to be a certain way and certain outcomes in life, but that's not how life works. We think people will come forward to help us. And the other problem is we don't ask. I was fine, of course, after all the cooking and cleaning was done. I had calmed down when I went to the shower, which is where I meditate. It's called a shower meditation. I get lots of downloads, and I realized it was me, not him. I was the one who didn't ask for help. Why didn't I? He would have helped. What was I so afraid of? I guess because I felt that if he loved me, he would have offered or just got up and done it. Why did I expect that from him? And why do I expect that from anyone in my life? So, as I dug further into my emotions and into that state that I had gotten myself into and out of very quickly, I realized that it was because when I had asked a loved one, my mother, for help when I was young, and I was going through a traumatic time in my life, she didn't help me. Rather, she stuck it somewhere deep down inside her and me, and I was never to revisit it again. This made me feel worthless. The worst part of this is that we don't want to ever feel helpless. When I realized I felt helpless, that's when I went to that state of feeling worthless. No one likes to feel insignificant or invisible. But I also realized that this is subconscious programming and I needed to delete it. I did. But there are going to be triggers in life that brings up the same subconscious programming. But we have to realize that we need to delete it as soon as it comes up. It is no one else's fault. When you have these limiting beliefs and are too afraid to speak up due to childhood experiences that you have not addressed, and even if you have, yeah, triggers are going to come up, but what are you going to do with it then? What are you going to do with it when it does come up? Are you going to sit there and live in the past, or are you going to move forward and address the emotions that are coming up? Too often, too many people don't address it. And I decided that I was going to address this because I didn't want to live in the pain and that feeling of helplessness and worthlessness. We learn every day thinking that what we have let go or dealt with and that it's not 100% gone, and that's okay. Acknowledging this truth about ourselves is what gets us further in life. And you'll realize everything that you're still holding on to, all those thoughts, feelings, emotions, and limiting beliefs need to be cleared on a daily basis or as soon as you recognize that they're seeping through. It's time to let go and stop throwing everything under the rug. It's time to start dealing with our emotions, with our past. And if you have not seen one of my episodes or videos on the Ho'oponopono meditation technique, I highly recommend that. Now, because helplessness, worthlessness, and expectations are all a cry for help, it's a cry for help because you're feeling unloved. And you have to recognize the pressure that you're putting on yourself, on others, on your relationship, and on your environment. When we experience pain, trauma of the past, and it triggers us, it's often getting stuck in the body. It gets stuck in the energy field, this field around you. It gets stuck in the chakra, which is another energy channel. And if you're not sure about what energy is and how this energy works, come visit me at Ananda, the number 4life.com. That is my website, and you can book a 15-minute appointment, and I'll give you a reading, a scan as to what's going on in your body right now, what's going on in your field. The shock of pain that you have ever experienced is stuck in the body because you're unable to feel and work through the pain. Sometimes we don't have the skills to contain it alone, to process it alone. And we become terrified of feeling helpless and hopeless. And this feeling of survival, because we tend to shut down. So then you go into this feeling of survival and insecurity, and this numbness comes over you, and you're just finding ways to escape. But what if you no longer have to escape? The advantage of growing up and becoming an adult is that you have more power, more independence than you had as a child. You have more control over your life now than you have ever. And I want you to know that. You may not feel it sometimes, but you do. So here are the things that you could do in order to feel more in control and less helpless. As soon as a trigger hits, as soon as an emotion hits, I want you to stop and breathe. That's the number one thing I want you to do. As soon as the feelings come in, recognize and understand why it's showing up right now in this moment for you. I guarantee you it's a childhood experience. And if you don't know what that experience is, it's okay. It's coming through. Where is it coming from? Why is it here? What is it teaching you? I want you to grab a pen and paper or your journal, your notebook. Write down what happened. What are you feeling? Some people express and can get downloads as to why they're feeling a certain way when they start writing, because that's another fearless way of expressing your emotions. If you can't think about it, if you can't say it out loud, write it down. Number three, soak. What I mean by this is take a shower, a meditation shower. As soon as you get into the shower or even a bathtub, close your eyes, feel the energies that you've entrapped in your energy field and your body just washing away as the water falls upon you. Set the intention and imagine this water washing away your fear and anything else that's coming up so that you can have more clarity as to what is really being revealed to you. Another thing you could do is go for a walk. Do not shut yourself out. This is your moment to have your revelation and to understand who you are and get your power back. Walking in nature will help you as it is a walking meditation, allowing that sun to bathe you, allowing nature and the elements of nature to bathe you and cleanse you. As you breathe in that oxygen, it cleanses your body, cleanses your lungs, gives you more breath of life. All of these things will help you. But number one is do not ignore what's coming up for you and have compassion for what is coming up for you. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. For more of my episodes, you could visit my YouTube channel where for more videos, as well as my podcast for many, many wonderful episodes there as well at Ananda, the number 4life.com. And I'm so grateful that you're here with me today. Thank you so much for joining me. To all of my viewers, to all of my listeners, thank you so much. And also, I want to offer you an invitation to an online healing retreat. This online healing retreat is a 4-hour healing retreat where we're going to dive into your whole being to help transform and shift whatever is vibrationally stuck, that's keeping you stuck, that's keeping you in repeating patterns in your lifetime. And if you feel that you are missing out on life, not feeling like yourself, missing the joy, which I know so many people are right now. Come join me on this amazing journey. This 4-hour online healing retreat is like no other retreat. It's happening February 19th, so save the date. It's on Zoom, so we will be joining and connecting in a beautiful community, and 8 other healers will be joining me. They will be assisting me in the healings. And so trust me when I say you will have never experienced such an amazing, powerful space for healing. Come and join us. From 11 to 3 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing healings and more healings. So come and join. And you can check out the information at Ananda, the number 4life.com, and just go under healings or click the link. Thank you so much for joining me. Lots of love and light to all of you. Namaste, everybody.